Well, space has been a subject that they've been putting in overtime and in the past couple of years, especially pushing their psyops, trying to get people to not see the truth, to look this way, to go down this rabbit hole or that rabbit hole, and just to keep you busy, lost, and confused. When we've been trying to drop proof with evidence, scientific evidence on what's going on out here left and right, we can only get so far. We don't reach every living room like CNN does. Okay, so when they want to brainwash the masses in every living room across the country, we've got to contend with that. And they could reach millions in 5 minutes, and it could take us all year to try to reach a fraction of it just to try to get them the truth of what's going on. Now, with that said, all the missions that NASA's launched and the other space agencies, shrouded in mystery and conspiracy and all these different theories of what really happened and what's really going on because of all the deception and lies. That means that when any truth does come out of them, it's hard to believe, the boy that cried wolf, because of so much deception. Now, there's one thing that stands out that most people are aware of, and it's the talk of Planet X, Planet 9, right? This Nibiru, whatever you want to dub it. And some argue that those are different entities, different bodies out there in the heavens. And it could be, but it's not worth hating one another over, is it? So we need to stop and look in the mirror real quick and see where they're taking some of you guys against each other, just on basic ideas. You got to learn to come to the table and hash this stuff out and see eye to eye on some things and agree to disagree on others. You learn from one another. Now, in this instance, they're saying they've discovered a new planet. This is big news. This is big news. They just rolled this out there. It's not talking, is Pluto a planet or a dwarf planet? No, they're telling you they have just found another planet. And they've dubbed it Goblin. You just can't make this stuff up. They said they dubbed it Goblin because they first witnessed it around the time of Halloween, Japanese telescope in Hawaii. Since then, they've picked it up with other telescopes, confirming that it's there, that it's massive, that it's moving slow, that there's 3 objects out here in this vicinity, and you can see by this map where the Kuiper Belt is. The giant planets, the Kuiper Belt, and where this thing sits. That's how far out it is. Here's 1 AU. The distance between Earth and the Sun. Saturn is at 10 AU. And you can see this thing is out here at 65 AU. Past the Oort cloud, or in the Kuiper Belt, and out here into the Oort cloud. Into a region that is very mysterious. Now, this is the thing. Not only did they just come out today and tell you that there's a new planet that they've dubbed Goblin. They're saying it's inhospitable and all this, but how do they know? All they've done is caught a glimpse of it. They're dropping breadcrumbs, I'm telling you. Because what they go on to say in this is that this object and others is being influenced gravitationally by another massive object out there in the Oort cloud. Again, referencing another massive object that is sitting out there. We've talked about this over and over again. You can tell because it's perturbing the outer planets, Pluto, and other things that are going on, Ceres. These other objects that are in the Oort cloud that should have a certain motion, they're wobbling a different way, showing that they're being controlled or affected by another massive force. And this would have to be a force that is way bigger than Jupiter, than Saturn, and all that. It would have to have a much stronger influence. Now, we can go back and forth about, and debate what this could be. Is it Planet X, Nibiru? Is it all one and the same? Are they different bodies? I respect the theories. Okay? It's not worth getting lost in a fight and arguing over the petty stuff and missing the bigger picture. Do you see what I'm saying? Although the government and their trolls would want you to do that. So if you find yourself falling down that rabbit hole and fighting and debating, well, you're falling for the trap. You should be able to discuss these things freely and openly without hating one another. You see? And together is how we find things out. What a gif. I remember that show. Always makes me wonder what life would be on the inside of this planet or others. And then it takes me back to how all these planets, even the big, thick, heavy ones, they seem to sit at the same weight on this fabric of space-time. The only way that would be possible is if they were hollow, in my book. It's my own opinion. I believe a majority of all these planets are hollow. This is why they also have holes in their poles, just like Saturn does, just like Jupiter, just like Mars, just like Venus has 2 holes in its poles. That's right, 2, said it time and time again. And it sucks energy down into them. It creates this very unique vortice that can only be found in Venus, our sister planet. So we know that the other bodies around us have holes in their poles. And just like our moon that they pinged, it didn't thud, it reverberated like glass, showing that it's hollow. Our moon, not solid to the core. That changes things. So when I take that into account, that tells me that some of these bodies out here in space are hollow and they have holes in the poles. Why would our planet be any different? Well, if they've got you chasing flat squares out there, then they remove the poles out of your equation and they have you not looking in the right place. You see how it works? So go back and look at all these shills out here on YouTube that for the past months or years have been pushing this psyop, and now you know who they're working for. The man. That's right, the man. Pushing psyops to keep you away from the truth. And that pisses me off bad. For all of us out here that fight the fight daily, in and out, every day, every week, every month, every year, constantly, I ride for all you that fight the fight, that live for the truth. None of us are perfect. None of us have all the answers. But we're in this together. Don't forget it. Don't fall to the deception. Hit me up, dabu7yahoo.com if you got anything you want me to report on. And stay tuned for an exclusive live stream right here on Dabu777. Diving into this right here. Eyes to the skies.